Hey, it's just Lyle, and today I'm reviewing The Legend of Tarzan, directed by David Yates. Uh, David Yates also directed the last four Harry Potter movies. The Legend of Tarzan stars Alexander Skarsgard, Christoph Waltz, Samuel Jackson, and Margot Robbie. So, The Legend of Tarzan. I had pretty low expectations of this movie just because I watched the trailers and they looked all right, and Um, I like the last four Harry Potter movies. I thought they visually looked good, so I was curious to see what David Yates could do with Tarzan, especially because like I don't give a fuck about Tarzan. I knew going in that the Legend of Tarzan was like a sequel of sorts to the actual Tarzan story that most people know. Um, like it starts out with him back in London, like living with Jane and just hanging out in fancy suits. So knowing that it was a sequel to that, I was a little more interested. I wasn't sure how I felt about Alexander Skarsgård playing Tarzan. I thought that was weird casting, but he was definitely my favorite part of the movie. I thought he did a fucking fantastic job as Tarzan. Like he was fucking jacked. He looked like Tarzan. I thought he did fucking awesome. He did a great job. Uh, he was definitely my favorite part. Um, Margot Robbie as Jane. Uh, she's all right. I always have this thing with Margot Robbie where I can hear a little bit of her accent whenever she does like American accent, and it doesn't bother me that much, but I just hear it and I just know. Uh, but she did all right job. Christoph Waltz, him and Samuel are kind of in the same boat that they tend to just play characters of themselves in movies. Like Christoph Waltz, unless Tarantino is directing him, he does this weird, quirky villain role, and he kind of does that in this. He he gets away from it a little bit. Like every once in a while, you're like he fucking Christoph waltzes the hell out of it. Um, but he's all right. And Samuel, like he he's basically playing Samuel. Like he's just playing a version of himself. But he was all right. Like he fit the movie. As soon as you just accept that it's just Samuel on hanging out with Tarzan, uh, kind of for no reason. Like he comes to recruit him at the beginning, and then they go to Africa and they do all this shit. Um, and it's he's just there. Uh, so I was pretty sure that he was gonna be fucking evil. I was like, there's got to be a reason why Samuel's here. Like he's got to be a like bad guy, and he's got to be up to some kind of plan. But he wasn't. He was just fucking there to be like hanging out, making fucking jokes with Tarzan for no reason. Christoph Waltz and Samuel, they were both fine. They weren't awful. I think the movie actually like it's for the most part shot really well. There's a lot of beautiful shots of like jungle and stuff, and a lot of like the really close up like interiors of buildings or close ups of the characters. Uh, I thought that all looked really good. One of my least favorite things in movies is slow mo in the action scenes to make it like the impact better and like the dodging. I hate that. And this movie had it. Some of the scenes it was quick and it was like Tarzan like fucking people up. Like there's a scene where he like gets onto this train after one of the two times where he fucking swings on vines. I want Tarzan like you got fucking Tarzan in your movie. He needs to be swinging on vines and pounding his chest a lot. They jump off this cliff and land in these trees, and it looked awful. It was like this weird overhead shot, and it just looked like super fake. And Samuel jumps down, and I'm just like, Samuel will be dead. Like he's just a man. It's fucking Tarzan, his boys, and Samuel, and I was like, he'd be dead. So he fucking swings onto this train, and there's a really awesome fight scene where he just like beats the shit out of like 20 guys on this train. He kicks this motherfucker at the side of the train because Tarzan doesn't give a fuck. He'll just murder you. He's just savage as fuck. Um, so that like that was good. Like there's a couple action scenes that were really good, but the slow mo stuff was really killing me. And I thought the ending, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, like the battle of the port, when the animals rush in and try and take out Christoph Waltz before he delivers the diamonds. Uh, I thought that was kind of it wasn't as climactic as I wanted it to be. The last like 30 minutes kind of came out of nowhere. It's like Jane jumps off this boat. Tarzan fights these guys. Oh shit, he beats him. Tarzan's got to go to the port and fight these people, and it felt really rushed and kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, so I wasn't a big fan of that. Um, and the way Christoph Waltz gets beat is kind of like it's not great. I like the way they handled explaining Tarzan's origin, because like Batman, most people know the fucking origin of Tarzan. Um, so telling it in like these flashbacks, uh, they weren't too long. They were well done. They got the point across, and they didn't take up too much time. Like most of the animals look pretty good. Um, I thought the apes looked really good. They look really real. Most of the other animals kind of look not great. Like there's some really rough looking ostriches that show up that are just like they're CG as fuck, and some hippos and like if it's not an ape, it looks weird and not real. But overall, yeah, I thought it was fine. I had low expectations, and it was entertaining. The action scenes weren't great, and I didn't really like the ending that much. The first hour I thought was really good. It was a lot slower, and like the build up was really good. Um, and then it just kind of went off the rails a little bit. Like it was still fun to watch, but I didn't feel it kept up with the pace and like the tone and like the quality of the beginning, the first half of the movie. I think Alexander Skarsgard, he was great, and the rest of the main crew, Margot Robbie, Samuel, and Christoph Waltz, I thought they were fine. They didn't subtract from the movie at all. It definitely felt like I was watching Tarzan with those three. Like Skarsgård was so good that I was like, this motherfucker is Tarzan. And the rest of them, I was like, oh, that's Samuel Jackson playing fucking Washington Williams, whatever the fuck his name was, or that's Christoph Waltz playing. I don't know what the fuck his name was because I was just like, it's Christoph Waltz. And Margot Robbie is Jane. Like she's good, she's fine. Like I wish they would have gave Jane more to do, but I thought it looked pretty good. Some of the CG, not great. So yeah, I'd probably give it a 7. Yeah, I'd probably give it a 7. I enjoyed it enough that I'm willing. Like I think a 7 is good. It's just it's it's kind of like the definition of just like an average movie. Like if you watch, you have a good time. Um, and I think it's definitely worth watching, mainly just to see Skarsgård like fucking kill it as Tarzan. I was pleasantly surprised by Tarzan. There's some fucked shit going down in Africa, and Tarzan's got to save the day. All right, so yeah. Hey, it's just Lyle, and if you like that review, check out some of my other reviews of other movies that I'd probably give a 7 because it seems like most of the movies I review are just average. And if you like the video, feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.